Instagram, the MySpace, Black Planet, wherever you checking out the show from. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Yeah, man, that's what I try to do. Now, apparently YouTube must have not sent out the notifications, so that's why it's good that you just know that I try to do a show every evening at 7 o'clock. So this way you can hunt me down. If YouTube don't be so kind as to at least let y'all know. I'm going to wait for a few minutes for some people to log in. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go through a couple preliminaries. First things first, if this is your first time joining the show, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. Secondly, you can always, of course, support the channel in multiple ways, which I'll be telling you about in a few minutes. Okay. But in the meanwhile, I need some people to go ahead and chime in and let me know y'all can hear me and that you're with me. Yeah, man. I barely can see, man. I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor, y'all. I have to go to the eye doctor. Yeah, I'm starting to think it's not just the lights and we're looking at that. Something's going on with my eyeballs. I don't want to end up like Stevie the Wonder. That's what I don't want to end up like. So I better go ahead and bite. You know how us tough guys are. I figure I could rub dirt in them. I'm like, all right, I think I'm good. Just rub a little dirt in them. Whoa, that should clear it up. Clear it up. But I better go ahead and get them checked out so I can see. You ain't there? Is anybody in there? That's right. Hello, Sonny. Yeah. Now, people say they can hear me loud and clear. Well, that's good. If you can hear me, then I'm going to get busy. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, man. It's Friday night. We might as well have a little fun. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some cheese in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, somebody said I was buffering a little bit. I didn't turn on the Wi-Fi, so let me do that first. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah. Let it marinate. Give me a second. There we go. Let it boot up and marinate and all that stuff. All right, kick in. Let it kick in. Okay, is it kicked? It kicked in? Okay, let me see. Let me check over here. All right, I think I'm good. Yep, I think I'm good. So, with that being said, guys, if you're just joining the show for the first time, I have a corner store. You can check out any merch. There's a phone number right here, 330-974-4607, that if you text MAGA to that number, just in case I get outed here, then this way we can kind of stay in touch. And finally, if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do that through my Cash App and my PayPal. Now, guys, before we get started talking about you know who, the best at being the worst candidate ever, Kamala Harris, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. I ran across a clip that concerned me. So now y'all hip to the, they keep kind of dropping these little warnings out about the bird flu. See, and I'm wondering, I'm like, what are y'all up to? I don't trust them anymore. I'm going, what is up with the bird? It's a bird. It's the bird. It's a bird. It's a bird. I want to know what's up with the bird flu. I don't want them to fall out of the sky at the last second, right before it's time to go cast my ballot. Yeah. So I was watching, I think it was Dr. Twirly, might have been this morning, and he had a guest on, and she was I don't know if she's a pathologist or whatever, but I know she was talking about the shenanigans that went on last time. And they played a clip from you know who, Jimmy the Cricket, Mixoplix, Mighty Mouse, the guy walking around that talked about, I'm the face of science, that guy. And it just showed how diabolical that little teeny itty bitty man is. Listen to this clip, y'all. This is why we can't be falling for the okey doke every time they say boo. Listen to this guy. Unbelievable. Man, I didn't hear this earlier. Warning about the bird flu, y'all.
You believed an institutional should make it hard for people to live their lives so they'd feel pressured to get vaccinated. Can we run the audio clip on that, please?
You think can be done about it? I have to say that I don't see a big solution other than some sort of mandatory vaccination. I know federal officials don't like to use that term, once people feel empowered and protected legally, you are going to have schools, universities, and colleges are going to say, you want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated.
Did y'all hear that little teeny itty bitty man, Funky Fauci? Once the companies feel legally oh, I'm sorry. Let me. Yeah, there we go. Once colleges feel legally protected, this guy just had the nerve to come out and say, look, you want to know how to go ahead and force everybody to get the vaccination, make them fall into compliance. This man just said, once we protect the corporations, not the people, Once we protect the corporations, then the people will have no choice but to fall in line. But listen, it gets more diabolical than that, y'all. That's why this little man needs to be brought up on some type of charges, okay? It gets more diabolical than that.
You're going to get vaccinated. Yeah. Big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and all of those others are going to say, you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. And
you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. So they're going to strong arm. He's talking about strong arming the population. Making sure you cut off their resources to force them into compliance. Kind of like what the Biden administration tried to do when he got installed in office. Now, for nothing more, people that's going out and voting, especially those that were forced to get the vaccination, they might have been Democrat. They might have been cool with all the racism and stuff they talk about. But maybe they weren't cool with being forced to get something they didn't want to, but they had to do it anyway. Maybe they weren't cool with not being able to see their family in the hospital and then they died and it's like, man, I didn't get to say goodbye. Maybe they weren't cool with having to postpone their wedding or watch their kid miss out on their senior year in football. Maybe they weren't cool with all of that. So I would hope they won't forget the administration that did this to the population and let this little dude right here run wild. So this is his real thoughts. This is how he really looks at the people. Like, look, man, forget what y'all want or don't want. Forget how y'all feel or don't feel. Whatever happened to bodily autonomy and all of that stuff. So listen what he says. He says, the big corporations, if you make sure they're protected, kind of like what Joe Biden said. Listen, we've been patient, but our patience are running thin. Now get the shot. And then came up with some just random number. If you got a company with 100 and more employees, they all got to get it. Just pull that number out of his butt. We see what these folks are capable of doing. Now, if we think that they won't try that mess again, I hope humans don't forget. I hope they don't say, well, you know what, they would never try something like that again on us. These Democrats would do it every time if they feel like they could take advantage of a pandemic, or should I say pandemic. But listen to this, y'all.
It's been proven that when you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit.
Did you hear that, little man? I want to go over and smack him on top of that head like Benny Hill. It's been proven when you make it difficult in people's lives, they will set aside their ideological differences. In other words, all of your right, left, all of your conservatism versus liberalism, that stuff goes out the window. It goes out the window when we say you can't get no job. And see, this is the threat of allowing government to have too much power over the population. When they can get involved in your finances, which the Democrats want to do, when they can start messing with your weapons, hold on, let me see something. I'm gonna make sure the chat's working. Yeah, when they can get involved with your finances, get involved with how many weapons you got, where they're stored, like Kamala Harris was saying, we want to come in and snoop around a little bit. When they can get that deep into your life, these folks could just shut off your resources at any moment, and then you're sitting there having to make a choice. If you ain't just a tough guy like me, okay, they can just go ahead, drop everything, and go off and live off the fat of the land at the drop of a hat. And you got kids, a wife, a family, and all of that stuff. What you gonna do? Oh, well, your bank account shut down. Oh, no, you don't like that? Oh, well, you can get the shot if you. Hey, look, I'm not forcing you. So look, you can either get the shot or you can go broke and watch your kids starve. Yeah, you're not getting nothing unless you do what the government is saying. Now, that's coming. It's coming. But I'll be danged if it come on my watch. After hearing folks like this talk about the abuse of power that they would implement, long as I'm living and long as the Lord ain't came back for us, I would never, ever support any regime who employed this guy and allowed him to do what he did to the public. But let's continue.
And they get vaccinated.
And they get vaccinated. In other words, take away all of your outlets, your resources, and trust me, after that, you'll get vaccinated. Now, here's the sad truth of that. During the pandemic, I knew many people who did not want to get the shot, many of them, but they had careers. You know, they weren't just like, man, look, I could just quit Kenny's shoes at any time. All I'm doing is just selling women's shoes. I could quit. If I go down the street, find out. These were folks with careers, you know, nurses, some were doctors, and, you know, and they had to go ahead and make a hard decision. And they're upset about it. And I'm thinking of all of those people. I mean, one lady had to get it. She ended up dying, okay, at 39. 39. All of a sudden, as soon as she get the shot, never had no cancer, nothing like that. A couple months go by, boom, cancer in the uterus. Yeah, they tried to get it out, came right back, became real progressive. Real progressive. It was aggressive cancer. Came back, next you know, a couple years later, she passed away. And she knew deep down in her heart that it was because she was forced to get the you know what. And then you hear that dude talking like that. So I don't care if they pop up with the bird flu, the dinosaur flu, the hot chicken flu, the whatever. I'm not doing it, man. And I hope y'all don't either. Don't comply. Now, let's get to, of course, Comedian Kamala Harris. Now, in my title, I let everybody know that I don't think she's a great candidate, okay? In fact, I think she is not great, but she is actually the best at being the worst candidate ever. Now, I know before you judge me, I know some of y'all are thinking, no, wait a minute, Kev. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe was horrible. True. But you got to put a little context to that. Creepy in his prime, even though he was still corrupt and slimy, in his prime, probably would have, you know, at least faked it until he made it a little bit better than this chick. This chick don't have an excuse. We can say Creepy was horrible because he was in the decline in his mind. But her, she's supposed to be in her prime. He was in the decline in his mind. She's in her prime. And she is the worst. No wonder folks don't like her. Oh, man. So, I managed to go over a couple of those little, you know, interviews and stuff like that. And she was doing so poorly and she was taking so much heat. I figured we better bring in a professional to help her. I think there's one person that can help her turn this around. Maybe mentor her in the ways of evilness, you know, mentor her in the ways of dipping folks and all of that stuff. And we'll get to that person at the end. But right now, Megyn Kelly, is letting Kamala Chameleon have it. She's on fire. Let's check it out. Watch this, guys. Before this a warm-up. This a warm-up round and show y'all what she's about. Lately, man, she's been dropping it. So now she goes on some little platform and some guy tries to do a little drive-by on Donald Trump and tries to, you know, drag her into it. And listen to what she says to this dude. Beautifully
We look at
done.
the 5 cases, you know, 6 months from now, a year from now. Let's assume all 5 of them go to trial. He's guilty of 3 so far.
Wait, what do you mean he's guilty of 3 so far?
Wait, he's been convicted of 3, sorry.
What do you mean?
See? One of the tactics, one of the drive-bys, while you are pretending to ask a question, you're also dropping out accusations, and you're also dropping out dis and misinformation, and you're leaving it in the minds of the viewer, and you're hoping the person that you're talking to don't do what she did. You're hoping you can get that speech out without it being contested. So in other words, all right, well, you're supporting Trump. He's been convicted on 4 charges. He's been found guilty on 3. Hoping that she wouldn't catch all of that and would wait until he finally pretend there's a question somewhere in that. But she catches. She should have, whoa, what you mean he's been convicted 4 times? So he already knows, I ain't dealing with no idiot here. And he's going to continue to try.
He hasn't.
Eugene Carroll was guilty.
That was not a conviction. That was a civil case.
Okay.
See how important it is to be informed and know what you're talking about. So these raggedy behind networks and commentators can't slide that stuff in. JD Vance is good at that. Vivek Ramaswamy. What is it? Not Tim Scott, but oh man, I forget his name. But a lot of MAGA Republicans are very good. Byron Donalds. They're very good at saying, "Whoa, wait a minute, go back, back it up." What did you just say? That's not true. And these folks be trying to hit and run and move on. So now she's about to stick it to this dude, embarrass him on his own platform.
Well, yes, so that's what I'm talking about. So
Okay, but there's a big difference.
It's still he was convicted. He was
Holly,
guilty, you know that.
that still he was convicted. You know that. You hear him trying to slide that in? As the crowd now shifts towards Megyn Kelly, they're over there going, yeah, for she's a jolly good fellow. So let's continue watching her unravel this man. Now, first of all, if y'all can see, why is this man sitting over there with those tight knees? That's what I want to know. Why is that man sitting on his hip with those legs crossed like this? Why is that man leaning like this? What's going on with that? I knew something was up when I didn't hear enough bass in the voice. But I ain't gonna judge him. I'm gonna let that go. Because right now, he got bigger problems on his hands than not having no bass in his voice. Because she's about to embarrass him.
Yeah, and the Trump organization, they're guilty there.
That
okay,
again was
you know.
civil, libel.
Yes, of course. But
Yes, of course. Then why didn't you say that in the first place? See, they're guilty there. If she wouldn't have said civil, meaning libel, he would have left that in the minds of his audience. So now you see the psychology behind what they're doing, the tactics. Yeah, he tried to slide that in, that they were guilty there. Civil. Oh, yeah, yes, civil. Then why didn't you say that? Would you have self-corrected if she wouldn't have brought that to your attention? Or would you have left these people to think that Donald Trump was guilty and should be thrown in a slammer? Having people walk around going, why isn't he locked up yet? Wasn't he found guilty and stuff? See, these are the tricks. And she ain't letting it fly. Let's continue.
To the cases we're talking about, and in a third one... you know she's a lawyer, right? Yeah, of course. And in a third one... I'm just talking about the 5 cases. Yes, some are civil, obviously, and some are not. Some are criminal. But if we look at all 5 cases...
You said 3 convictions. Now you're walking it back.
Yep. Now everybody's getting in on it. Everybody's starting jumping, getting jabs in. So you said 3 convictions, now you're walking it back. Would you have walked it back if she wouldn't have corrected you? See, this is how foul the media is. These are the psychological games that they will play. And if you're not informed, you'll fall for it. Yeah, I have talked to many people, and once I informed them, they were mad. Like, man, I can't believe I was manipulated like that. I was walking around believing that stuff. Got mad. And everybody should. But see, we got too many people out there that will find this stuff out and go, I'm sure he's guilty of something. That's the problem. They're okay with the abuse coming from the media. They'll go right back to CNN, get a healthy diet. They like that junk food. And then wonder why their feet be tingling in the middle of the night. Go back to MSNBC, stuff like that. And I'm saying, what are you doing? You're in an abusive relationship with the Democrats and the fake news. They continue to lie and manipulate you. And when you hear the truth, you get mad at the truth. I don't want to believe that. I want to hang on to the lies. Like this guy's trying to feed, but he's getting destroyed.
I'm not walking it back. There's 3 in which he was...
I'm not walking it back.
I'm so glad Megyn is here.
Of the 5, 3 of them he's either guilty or...
You got a bad result.
Out of the 5, is either guilty or... Well, has he been found guilty? Has he been charged with anything yet? I mean, has he been sentenced? No. So technically, he's not even a felon yet. He hasn't been sentenced, and most likely he won't get sentenced. See, but yet this guy, he wants everybody to believe it, just like every time they talk about it on the news, or even they try to do it in a debate. The 4-time convicted felon, and all this stuff. And it seems that not enough people are checking him on that, and it burns me up. You know, so let's continue, because Megyn does a wonderful job. After this, I said, Megyn, you know what? You getting a cameo at least several other times throughout my live stream tonight.
Yeah, got a bad result. There are 2 more. If he is found guilty of those 2 more, Megyn, and 5 of 5, he had a bad result. Way to frame it. Will you chalk all 5 up in your mind to 5 different jurisdictions, 5 different prosecutors, 5 different juries and or judges?
Now you hear what he's trying to do? He's trying to bring in the subliminal message of where there's smoke, there must be fire. That's why they go so heavy-handed on their attacks on Trump. They say, let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Because once we build this perception that all of these cases and all of this drama and all of these accusations and all of these indictments, surely they can't all be just making it up. Surely it can't all be just what, lawfare? Come on. Is that guy? I mean, so that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to say, you know what? If he get convicted of all 5 of those, would you still say this dude is really just being politically persecuted? Come on. Let's see how she handles the pressure.
All conspiring to get him.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I think I love her. Oh, man. Did you hear that? She didn't pause. She didn't say, well, you know, I can. She said 100%. And they wonder why Trump has not lost any of his base. Because all of us that support Trump, we know 100% that all of these charges, all of these indictments, all of this mess is all fake. 100%. And they scratching their heads like, we did everything y'all told us to do. We called him a white nationalist. We impeached him twice. We had indicted him 4 times. We said he was gone. All of this. And we're all seeing this going, see? We see what you're up to. Now she's about to even go one step further. She's about to unravel him with details. Oh, he wasn't ready.
That's all I wanted to hear.
That's all I wanted to hear.
5 different jurisdictions.
Yeah.
You think it's all
Jean
lawfare?
Carroll, they changed the law so that she could bring a civil lawsuit against him, and she did. New York went 87% for Joe Biden. That fix was in right from the start. The fraud trial that Letitia James brought against him has never been brought. There's no victims. The banks who were involved said we didn't lose a penny. What are we doing here? We weren't damaged. Nobody was complaining except Tish James, who ran for office saying, I will get him.
Stop her. She's beating up a man, sounding man, I guess. She's smacking him around. This is reverse domestic violence. Smacking him. So now she's going through all the cases. Yeah, she's going ahead and trying these cases right in front of this gentle man asking these questions.
Then you have Alvin Bragg, who's a George Soros-funded prosecutor who doesn't like to prosecute any crime in New York City, where I lived for 17 years, except if your name is Donald Trump. Let's go down to Georgia, where Fani Willis and Nathan Wade couldn't keep their libidos in check long enough to actually bring this case against Donald Trump. It's a repeat of what was happening in January 6th up in the case with Judge Chutkan, who loathes Trump and has sentenced almost every J6 defendant.
She's doing this almost in one breath. It was like she hit us with the Ace Ventura. First of all, you have to... Yeah. It's like she just hit us with the Ace Ventura. She is throwing it at this dude right now. I can't block them. They're coming too fast. Smacking him around. And I ain't gonna break it up. I'm gonna sit back and watch this very gentle man get beat up by Megan. Yeah, give him some more.
To way more jail time than their counterparts would get. Those are falling apart because of presidential immunity, which was handed down by the Supreme Court, who said you cannot bring a criminal case against a sitting president for any official act. Those cases have been gutted. Also a Supreme Court ruling saying the same on January 6 defendants in general.
Stop the press. Somebody, I know, look, he's like, why did I even bring this up? Why did I ask that question? And I'll be wondering sometimes, like when they try these gotchas, they don't do like a little bit of research on who they're bringing on the show. I mean, you're not dealing with Maxine Waters right there. You're not dealing with Don Lemon or Dumb Lemon. You're not dealing with idiots. I mean, most of the time, real Republicans are pretty informed. And we already know the details of all of the shenanigans that's going on. But then to add on top of that, you know, she is a lawyer. So not only is she a smart person and a conservative, she's a lawyer. And this dude thought he could slide all that garbage in and she would just go, I don't know.
And that leaves us with Florida and the documents. And Trump has torn that apart because Jack Smith wasn't properly appointed and isn't the right counsel. But there are other issues. They haven't even gotten to presidential immunity there. And so that one's going nowhere as well. And by the way, they're going to appeal it up to the 11th Circuit. Sort out. The 11th Circuit is conservative. And thank God so is the current Supreme Court. They're not going to tolerate that nonsense.
Let me ask you
Bravo! Good answer. If we were on the Family Feud, I'd be like, good answer, good answer, good answer. But if we had Democrats in our family, it would be one of those. Good answer. We all seen Family Feud. When you got a family member to say something stupid, but you got to try to support him anyway. The rabbit. What? I said, name one predator that eats other animals. And then you get a family member. I'm going with the rabbit. And the whole family is like, good answer. Good answer. A rabbit. What the heck, man? When we get home, we're going to have to talk about this. Survey said, bam. We all know the X is coming. We all know the X is coming. But with her, I'm going, good answer. I'm expecting the top answer. Bing! Number one answer. Yeah, we're playing to win. So now, guys, I'm going to stick with Megan because she is now going to turn all of that on Kamala Harris. Okay, so we saw her beat up that gentle man right there. And now she's about to jump knee deep into Kamala Harris in her latest interview. So let's go ahead and see.
How does the federal government cut through all that red tape and get down to, I don't know, the suburbs of Pittsburgh and say, we're going to have to build some affordable housing here?
Part of my goal and the plan would be to create 3 million new housing units for rent and for ownership
How did Pixie does? Let's continue.
at the end of my first term. It includes also what we must do to cut red tape. You're absolutely right. I know that we have to reduce the red tape and speed up what we need to do around building. Some of the work is going to be through what we do in terms of giving benefits and assistance to state and local governments around transit dollars and looking holistically at the connection between that and housing.
Okay.
And looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments.
I'm starting to hear a pattern. I caught a word of the day, holistically.
To actually engage in planning in a holistic manner that includes prioritizing affordable housing for working people.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Of course she doesn't, Anton Sugar. No, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She just know those talking points, and she's like, I'm not deviating from these. These are the things they said I can say. But if she asked me one hard question to say, elaborate on that, please. Break that down a little further. But it don't even have to get that deep because Megan went ahead and called her out on it.
What? I went back. Kamala Harris had given remarks earlier in the day about her big economic plan. It's from that. It was Kamala Harris who raised the red tape problem.
What?
Oh, listen, this is her earlier that same day. Listen.
We will cut the red tape that stops homes from being built. As president, if things are not moving quickly, I will demand to know why, and I will act. I will work with Congress, workers and businesses, cities and states, community groups and local leaders to reform permitting, to cut red tape and get things moving faster.
There she is, red tape. She raised it. Stephanie Ruhle was basically saying, you said red tape. How? She said nothing.
Of course she said nothing because she has nothing to say. She can't break that stuff down. I mean, that would be like me interviewing to become an environmental toxicologist. I want to be the head of the environmental toxicology department in Children's Hospital. Okay. All right. Can you break down how to go through protocol and be detoxed and make sure that you're sprayed down and what type of animals you should use and what type of pathogens you would be working on and I'd be sitting there going, all right, I know about 5 things I heard on the internet, and I'm going to stick with those 5. Well, I would start with looking at the animals and making sure I got cute ones that we can experiment on. And then I would make sure the pathogens are safe. How? By making them safe. And then I would make sure that we have lots and lots of like what are those things? Telescopes? No, they're not telescopes. They're microscopes. I will make sure we got lots of them. That's it. That was a very shallow surface answer. And you want to run the whole department. That's how I look at Kamala Harris. I'm thinking you want to run the whole country and you're giving very shallow talking points and responses and answers. And all it would take is somebody to say, how would you do that? What does that look like? But Stephanie here doesn't do it. She allows her to go ahead and run off her surface talking points. So let's continue because it gets worse than that.
Nothing. This was from her speech to the Economic Club of Pittsburgh just the other day. Been dying to get this on SOT 11.
We need to guard that spirit.
Oh, God. I almost threw up in my mouth right there. That's how bad of an acting job. That jumped right out at me like, boom. We need to guard that spirit. Man, you can't get no worse than Chameleon Harris. I mean, I know she's a chameleon and all, but she's not doing very well trying to adapt and change colors, man. The one thing she's trying to adapt to, which is appearing to be sincere and genuine, she just can't get it. She can't get it. She's Captain Kirk right now. We need, thank you, to be sincere. Yeah, I saw somebody say it, man. She's going Captain Kirk on us. Woo! Caw-caw, caw-caw. She's going Captain Kirk on us. Let's finish watching her performance.
We have to guard that spirit. Let it always inspire us.
Man, I'm telling you, I am done. If this woman ends up the president, that means I am going to go ahead and interview to become the head of the Department of Toxicology at Children's Hospital if she gets in. That will be my whole argument, sir. Thank you for coming in for the interview. We noticed on your resume there was nothing. That you sent in a blank piece of paper. Yes, that's right. Well, don't you think you should at least have something on the paper? For what? Kamala Harris became president. She didn't have nothing. So I think I should go ahead and start, what, Monday? Is that okay? Is that okay? Because for now, it appears that nobody needs any type of skills, accomplishments, or qualifications, or even a personality or soul. Nobody needs any of this stuff to get to the nominee. Now, right now, like I said, just watching her, she is the best at being the worst candidate ever. Remember, you can't count Joe because Joe wasn't right. She's supposed to be in her right mind. And she's this horrible. Joe Biden, he gave them the business with this one. Oh, you think you can get rid of me, huh, Nance? Okay, I got something for you. I'm endorsing Kamala Harris. Darn it. And now you cannot clean this up. That's how bad she's so unlikable. Let's see some more. Watch her, here this go. She's trying to sell us.
Let it always be the source of our optimism, which is that spirit that is so uniquely American.
Wow. I mean, it's like a bad soap opera. That's how bad it is. Like, she's just a bad actress. We've all seen like low budget movies where you going, they couldn't find nobody a little bit better than this, a little more believable. I mean, this is a horrible actor, and she is stinking it up. We need.
And let that then inspire us by helping us to be inspired to solve the problems.
What did she just say? Let that inspire us by what?
Guard that spirit. Let it always inspire us.
Inspire us.
Let it always be the source of our optimism.
Okay.
Which is that spirit that is so uniquely American. And let that then inspire us by helping us to be inspired to solve the...
Let that there inspire us by helping us to be inspired to inspire ourselves, inspire Lee, or inspire less, depending on how inspired you are on the inside. Unbelievable. Now, I know she's reading a teleprompter. Who's putting multiple inspires in that teleprompter? Man, she's horrible.
Problems that so many face.
And what's this? What is this? What is this? Well, she got the bouncies, a bad case of the bouncies, and inspire us. She's horrible. And I ain't saying that just because I'm a conservative. I'm just trying, when I step back and I say, man, if I wasn't conservative, if I wasn't liberal, if I was just a guy saying, man, you know what? I want to watch and observe this politician's behavior and see how they speak to me. See if something about her make me go, wait a minute, I could kind of connect with that. That's what Trump did when he came down that escalator. I was watching Trump years before he ever said he was going to run. And he was consistent all through the years. The things that he felt was problems in our society, he was talking about years ago. And when he came down, he talked to everybody like he's always been talking. Nothing about that changed when he decided, I'm going to run for president. He talked to us just like he did before he said, I'm about to run for president. If he would have came out now and start talking like, you know, a politician, I'd probably be like, man, you seem kind of fake too. But this chick, to see her try to get ghetto 1 minute, then she try to get, proper and use the King's English, and then she's Hispanic. She's all over the place. And that is why she looks insincere. She looks fake. She looks completely synthetic. And she's going to continue to bombard us with this mess.
Small business owners.
Yeah.
No?
You see what I mean? You know what that is, Megan?
What?
That's the 13-year-old girl on Instagram putting up some inspirational quote that her girlfriend shared with her. Live, laugh, love. Like, she's 59 and that's how she talks.
Yep. Yeah, she straight go to a Hallmark card section in Walmart and just find inspirational things to say. You are the light of my life. And when I think about you, ma'am, you still got the card in your hand. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Can I put, shoot, okay, wait, there, you. When I think about you, you then become, what? The camera's over there? Oh, wait, okay. You then, no, oh, I'm still off? Okay, wait, you then become, and I'm going, good night. Man, she needs a coach. But wait, Megan ain't done with her.
The price gouging question, and here's how she answered it. Watch this.
Prices are still high.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You said you want to take this on.
You see her? You see her trying to look serious, like she's about to drop a serious answer. Yeah, like give it to me. Yeah, I'm ready. I agree with you. So let's see if you agree. Let's see how you respond.
By going after those who engage in price gouging.
Yeah.
But as somebody who supports free markets, who's a capitalist, how do you go after price gouging without implementing price controls?
Ooh, good question. That she's not ready for, y'all. You think Chameleon know this answer right here? Nah.
Once we get in this zone, people start to get worried and they say, I don't know what she stands for.
So, just to be very...
Now you see the eyes? A lie's coming. The look down, that you saw it right off grip. So, like a little kid about to try to answer about what happened to this vase. So, let me be clear. Tony was he was running, and then he had came in and I told him, I said, don't be running in the house. And then you know what he had said? That's how she starts off. Like, so I gotta think about this one. All right, so you're gonna look at her eyes. She's concentrated. She's trying to come up with something to say. Blinking. You can see her changing channels in her head. Like, come on, Chameleon. If you could just get through this.
Very frank.
Starting off right there. Very frank. What you're about to do is let us know you're about to lie to us, because you got to tell us that I'm going to be very frank. So that means what? You're not frank all the other times you talk. All of a sudden now you want us to go ahead and say, well, now she's really frank out there. You know what? There's no way that she would lie to us right now, because she just told us she's going to be very frank. So let's see.
I am never going to apologize for going after companies and corporations that take advantage of the desperation of the American people.
Now, she should have said, I'm going to be very frank. I have no idea what I'm going to do or what I'm doing. Okay. I don't even know how I got here. And that's what she should be saying. But instead of answering the question of how are you going to do that without increasing prices, she decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on the companies. See, I ain't got time to be worried about how I'm going to go through the details and all that stuff. Right about now, somehow, I'm focused on these mysterious, magical companies that are price gouging. And if you question me, I'm going to be like, well, you don't want me to go ahead and fight for the little man? I'm trying to go after these big, greedy corporations right here, regardless of how that looks, if it's true or not, how it would damage the economy, how it might mess up the supply chain. None of that matters. These people are boogeymen, and you need a boogeyman slayer. Now, next question. Will not tell you how she's going to do it.
And as Attorney General, I saw this happen. In the midst of an emergency, whether it be an extreme weather event or even the pandemic, we saw it.
The one that you guys made extreme, messed up the supply chain, locked us down for multiple years and months, shut down everything. You mean stuff like that? Uh-huh.
Where those few companies, not the majority, not most, but those few companies that would take advantage of the desperation of people.
These folks, I fear government and politicians like this way more than I fear corporations and companies. So now she's talking about taking advantage of people in desperate. No, y'all took advantage of people's fear and trust in the government. That's why we still got folks riding around right now with masks on in their cars. Still walking around Walmart masked up, gloves on, scarf wrapped around their faces 95 degrees, still walking around like that. These folks will take advantage of people way more, and we've seen it, way more than corporations will. I don't fear them. Yeah, they can't put me in jail. They can't spy on me. They can't unleash the dang on FBI on me. They can't censor me. They can't collude with big tech and all of that stuff. I fear government, not big corporations.
And jack up prices. Yeah, I'm going to go after them. Yes, I'm going to go after them.
Okay.
So she wanted to distract and make herself seem noble and brave. So don't bog me down with details. Look, man, I'm a pioneer. I'm on a mission. And I ain't apologizing for it, okay? So now, you know what Megan got to do.
So she's trying to act tough. But the question was, as someone who supports free markets, Rule's talking about herself, who's a capitalist, how do you go after price gouging without implementing price controls? You, as the magic wanded commander-in-chief, saying, bread shall now be the following price. Milk shall revert back to $3. How do you do that without implementing price controls? And she instead, this audience knows I laugh at her because she has this John Wayne routine, Carrie, where she's like, I'm a border state prosecutor and I've fought those criminal drug cartels like John Wayne would. And it's a lie. And here she busted, yes, I am going to go after. No, the question is
what?
How are you going to go after them without implementing price controls?
Yeah, because see, that got lost in her performance. Yeah, by the time she was ended up with her little, monologue, her acting monologue, she was hoping that just like that raggy behind interviewer did, which is just kind of say, okay, I'm going to let that slide and move on to the next thing. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. So she got away with that, trying to pretend like I'm tough and I'm unapologetic, because I will go after big corporations, okay? Now, how I'm going to do that, I don't know. How it's going to all work out, I don't know. Who it's going to impact and affect, I don't know. And frankly, I don't even know if this is a real thing or not. They told me to create this boogeyman so that folks wouldn't look at how bad our economy is, how we're responsible for what these folks are feeling and going through right now. So they're misplacing the blame by creating this mysterious boogeyman talking about price gouging.
And by the way, what is your evidence that price gouging is happening at all?
Whoa! Now that simple question would have exposed her. That's what I would have loved to see. But that lets us know how bad of a candidate she is. That's why she's on MSNBC doing interviews, going to these softball places that pretend to ask her tough questions and let her get away with a fluff answer like that, when all you got to do is go one step further. So here I am, made it somehow to interview for the head of the toxicology department at Children's Hospital. And I tell them about, I'm gonna bring in more microscopes and I'm gonna bring in animals to experiment on. And one of them stopped and just said, what type of microscopes do you think are the best for looking at pathogens? Bam, I'm blowing the smithereens right there. Right there. If they try to prep me to go in, like, dude, just tell them you focused on the microscope, you got the animals and you're going to get chemicals, you're going to make sure this. And all it takes is one person to say, what do you recommend? Like, what type of microscope you think is the most? And I'm going, the powerful one. That's all that lady had to do. All she had to do is say, what companies out there are price gouging? Could you give us some evidence or examples of companies that were price gouging? All of them. That's what she would have did. Or probably just be like, ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Your nose is big enough for a woman twice your size.
Here she is asking her about immigration.
Communities around the country that have legal immigration, many have said we're at capacity. And many feel like the government has said to them, well, adapt, sit down, be quiet.
That's exactly what the government is. That's exactly what the Biden administration has done. Not just the government. The Biden administration specifically has done that on a mega scale. And I mean a mega scale. So now, let's see how Kamala handles this question. And let's see if Stephanie, I think her name is going to go ahead and ask the tough, hard-hitting questions.
This is how it is. What would a Harris administration do for those communities who've taken in many, many legal immigrants but are at...
Did you send them? See, that's what she should have said. taking in many, many illegal immigrants against their will and their knowledge because you guys imported them in and then shipped them all around the country on taxpayers' expense. Now, can I finish the question? Right there, she would start steaming. You would hear the wheels turning like I'm about to explode, just based on the question.
Capacity. Well, first of all, we do have a broken immigration system, and it needs to be fixed.
Oh, but a couple months back, it was fine. Yeah, before y'all had an election coming up, the border's fine, the border's closed, immigration is working. Now she's even talking about going down to that border for some reason. And I guess she thinks that's not obvious that this is an attempt to fool everybody and make them think, look at me, I care about the border, I'm doing stuff. It only took me 40 days out from an election to do it. When I realized the polls are showing that I'm getting beat up on this issue. But now I'm going, better late than ever, right? Democrats, man. So now she's going, I recognize the border's an issue. How did it become an issue? That's my question. See, now I'm going to show you what this interviewer should have asked.
And if we take a step back, months ago, some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress came together with others, proposed a border security bill.
Okay, so now I got to go ahead, bust out my mic. Well, that's interesting. Let's take a further step back, Madam Vice President. Let's take a step all the way back to when you and Joe was installed and y'all removed all of those policies that Trump had put in place to bring the border to, control. I thought, why did you remove those if they were working? What is your real goal when it comes down to immigration? Is it to stop these people from coming and make sure that only folks that got legitimate claims of amnesty or not amnesty, but asylum can come? Is it to make sure they no longer can come? Or is it to just make sure they have an easier way to come by supplying more resources to process them quicker? There you go. Explain that one. But now she's going to let her get away with pretending to blame Trump and all of them.
Donald Trump got word of the bill, realized it was going to fix a problem he wanted to run on, and told him to kill the bill. I will bring that bill back and I will sign it into law. And we need a comprehensive plan.
Okay, so now I got to go ahead and grab my mic and go, okay, that sounds good and all. But you say that, there was a bill put on your desk and you would sign it. But was that the only bill? Wasn't there a bill passed in the House that would have actually addressed some of the loopholes that the Senate bill had in it? Like allowing a certain amount of illegal immigrants to come across every single day? And put that mic right on her nose. Now, what do you think about that? Why didn't you guys go and read the House members' bill and bring that up for a vote? Oh, it was too strict. It would have actually stopped illegal immigration. That's why. But she let her get away with this.
That includes what we need to do to fortify not only our border, but deal with the fact that we also need to create pathways for people to earn citizenship.
Bingo. Why do you want people to have a pathway to citizenship when all of these Americans are already complaining about there's too many of them here? Was it your goal to bring all of these immigrants here and do exactly what you're talking about? Pretend that they're coming here legally for a better life. Changing up all of the asylum restrictions and laws and all of that, so changing that up, making it appear to be legal immigration, disguising it, knowing that it's really a legal immigration assisted by our own government, to get them here and realize it would be too much of a pain in the butt and a hassle, too expensive to get them all out. And then eventually go ahead and say, well, they're all here now. The best thing to do is just accept them. Let's just go ahead and start from scratch. Call it a day, give them all amnesty, and now they're all fellow Americans. Is that your goal? Is that your goal? Because she just leaked it right there at the end. And eventually a pathway to amnesty.
Hey, what was that? Here at the end? Just slid right in there. Yeah, she really does want amnesty.
Yeah, she wants it. All of them want it. All of the dang on nasty Democrats want that mess. And I'm telling you right now, this election can't come fast enough. And if they do something tricky, man, I'm going to lose my crap. I'm going to be so furious because I know she's garbage. And I think the majority of Americans know she's garbage. And I know we got a lot of dumb Americans, but nobody wants garbage. That's one gift you could keep. If Christmas come up and you pull up, Kev, I got you a bag of garbage. Why are you putting that crap on my lawn? You're not Santa Claus. What's in that garbage? It better be something useful. No, it's just garbage. Banana peels, cans that's been open. Get it out of here. I don't want that mess. And my gut tells me, as we watch her, because we've been watching her forever. We already knew she was garbage. Okay, we knew she was hot garbage, hot. All right, not just garbage, hot garbage. Okay, dumpster juice garbage. Okay, we've been knowing that for a long time. But a lot of other people now that she is lightweight in the spotlight, but not really in the spotlight because they know she's garbage and they're trying to keep her out of the spotlight. But people are starting to see when they do get a glimpse of her, she's garbage. That's what she is. And we can't have garbage running our country, can we? So Jesse Waters have to come out and explain just how garbage she is.
A majority of the country wants mass deportation. That's not controversial. And it's a vast...
Look at her. She burns me up on the show. He's going to lay down a case that's so vicious that she's not going to be able to even chime in and respond and rebuttal.
Majority of the country. You say that she wants tax cuts for the middle class?
Yeah.
She's not proposing tax cuts. She's just proposing keeping the Trump tax cuts for the middle class. No one's going to get an additional tax cut under Kamala Harris. It just stays the same for those people. She says she wants to...
And Jesse, does that include the policies that she's stealing from Trump too? Like, you know what, we're not going to tax on tips. Does that include that one too? Okay. All right, let's continue.
To build homes? How's she going to do that? She build, 8 car charging stations? $7 trillion for 8 car charging stations.
Now that's money, well used right there, y'all. Not to mention the Democrats just dropped 2-point-something billion more dollars to Ukraine. And then we got all of these, 8 charging ports right there? All of that money? There you go. That's progress. Yeah, that's Democrat policies. These are things that they should be bringing up every time. They should be asking, look, here's all of the things that you guys claim y'all were going to do under your bills and all that stuff. And then look what we got. Nobody has internet service out there in the rural areas. Probably like 1 or 2 dudes. I finally got my internet service. What about you, Ned? Nope, nothing here. I'll be hanging out in front of your house there to get my Wi-Fi. Unbelievable. Democrats, man. So let's continue, though, because Jesse ain't finished digging into her.
This woman can't build anything. The guy spent his whole life building something. I'd rather go with this guy. She says dreams, ambitions, opportunity, aspirations.
Sounds good.
These are the words that Obama's people told her to say. Because she can't talk about her record. She can't talk in specifics about what she's going to do. She doesn't really know what she's going to do.
Jesse.
She's just a basic woman from California who just ran through the machine all the way to the top.
Jesse. Man, why so harsh? Why do you say such mean things? Because she deserves every word of it. Now, I know somebody will listen to Jesse in his monologue, his speech, and they'll be like, well, why he say she's just a woman, a basic woman? Well, that's right there showing the patriarchal, the toxic masculinity, sexism in our society right there. He's focusing on, no, she's a basic woman, okay? All right, from California. Finish, Jesse. I'll allow it.
And now I feel bad for her. She's not ready for this.
She ain't ready for prime time? Oh, man, I don't feel bad for her. Yeah, it's like somebody who puts their kid in a spelling bee and they know the kid can't spell. Ain't even studied nothing. Well, you're going to get in there, okay? Now get on up on the stage. Okay, rabbit. Rabbit. W. A. Rabbit. The B. The B. B. E. T. T. Wabbit. That's what she's like. She's like somebody who put their kid out there in something they know the kid aren't talented at. I want you to be in a dance recital. Looks like your kid's having a seizure up there on the stage. Do we need to call somebody? Nah, he's doing fine. Stuff like that. That's how it looks. It looks like the Democrats put her out there completely unprepared. Go ahead out there, play basketball, and you're dribbling with both hands. Whole time. Coach got to get you. Get over here. Sit down. But no, you stuck her out there anyway. Let's continue.
She's not ready for the job she has. She's not ready for the job she wants. We're not ready for her. She's not doing well. These interviews are going really poorly.
And Jesse seems legitimately concerned about her. You know it's bad. I mean, I want to see her do poorly. That's the bad part about it. But then it comes to that point where it's just like, oh, I didn't think it would get this ugly. It's like, in high school where this one girl from our high school had a smart mouth. Somebody said, I'm looking like I'm 30. Thank you so much. There you go. I appreciate that. But a girl from our high school, she was one of these people. Always like, why you got this and this and that? And you know what? Y'all think y'all this and that. Had her little gold and all that stuff. And a lot of folks in the school was like, man, she get me sick. She got a nasty attitude. She always talking trash. Man, she ended up getting into a fight in McDonald's parking lot. And me and my buddy in the beginning kind of instigated it. We wanted to see it go down just to teach her a lesson. But then it got out of control. It got so out of control that we was like, okay, we got to break this up. It started off funny and all at first, but good grief, we might be witnessing a murder. I knew she was in trouble when she tried to throw a lazy over the head haymaker and the girl caught it, spun her around in a full Nelson, looking dead into her eyes, and she had that look of, help me. And there was nothing we could do. Nothing we could do. It was out of her hands. I was like, she's about to get killed right here. I'm sorry. You brought it on yourself. Boy, did she take a beating. But it got to the point where we was like, man, we need to break this mess up. Jesse is feeling that. I want to see her do bad too. But there comes that point where you're going, she's really bad at this. Man, who stuck her out? Who put her up to this? Well, let's continue.
She was asked a specific question about how are we going to make housing more affordable? And she says she's going to give money to state and local governments and it's going to be holistic. What does that mean? She's going to build yoga studios, Jessica? Healing crystals?
You love yoga.
Ayahuasca studios? What does that mean? She's going to give money to state and local governments in a holistic way for transportation needs and it's going to help housing. She doesn't have a grasp on anything.
Anything. But she got a magic wand, I'm sure. Bing! There you go. Pixie dust. That's what she's going to use. A lot of salad. Yeah, that's what she's going to use. All right. Today I'm working on a policy. Speaking of policies, you know what? There's pollen in the air. The summer's coming and everybody loves the summer. And I believe that the summer brings joy. And there's joy cometh in the morning. See, so there you go. Now, thank you for coming out. No more questions. That's what she would do the whole presidency.
She didn't even know Biden kept Trump's tariffs on China. She says inflation's a crisis and then blamed Trump. She says the border is a crisis and then blamed Trump. She said the border was fine 3 years ago. She said the border.
Look, Jessica right now is like, this is indefensible. Wow, yeah, usually I come up with something stupid to say. But right now, Jesse is, he's crushing it. And I can see Jesse's really concerned for her. He's like, stop the fight. Somebody stop it. I mean, good grief. I want to see a good fight, but she's getting killed. And Jessica's trying to chime in, but she knows.
Was fine for 3 years, and now it's a crisis. She can't blame Trump for her border crisis. She let 20 million...
You see her try to use that garbage right there? Like Trump was in Congress or something. Like he was still the president. That she said that she tried to do a bipartisan border bill, but Trump killed the bill. I cannot stand when they try to use that excuse, man. And folks, but Jesse didn't let her get away with it. He was like, whatever. She was the border czar, and the border sucked.
People into the country, and the worst line of the whole thing, Jessica, she said the American dream is dead. She's in power now. She said the American dream is dead.
And it is. And they killed it. They killed it. There it is. Her and her raggedy president killed the American dream. Now she's going to resuscitate it, y'all. Same person who shot ya is now going to go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to stop the bleeding. I'm going in for the bullet, start compressions. No, you the one that shot me. But it gets worse, y'all.
So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles?
You see those snappers come out looking like the alien? Scared me. So now, you see that? She asked her that very fun-loving, comforting question right there. At any time, did you ever serve? Yeah, break the tension, let you know I'm not hostile. Yeah, I'm not gonna come out like we be coming out on Republicans. All right, let's get right into it. Why are you white nationalist, xenophobe, homophobe? Do you denounce white supremacy? All of that stuff. Yeah. Instead, did you ever work at McDonald's? And now, let me show you what she should have done.
Onions on a sesame seed bun. Working at a McDonald's, yes or no? That's it. I have. Okay, now the other.
I have. You say you have, huh? Well, I'm glad you said that. Because there are people who did a background check and found out that you never worked at McDonald's. Would you like to explain that? That's what she should have done, but nope, she jokes and laughs with her and try to move on.
Job.
So now I gotta do
small
it.
job, like
Now I gotta do it.
guys. I mean,
Oh, Harris claims she had a job at McDonald's while in college. Here's what we found. Oh, in the 1980s, worked at McDonald's while completing her undergrad degree. Unproven.
A few minutes later.
Okay.
Stephanie Rule, NBC News senior business analyst, host of the 11th Hour, joins me now. Stephanie, can I just say that was a great interview, and I thought you pressed her on really.
Oh, no wonder. She's in friendly territory. It's all of them scratching each other's back. You did good. You did good. All those losers are saying everybody did good over there. There it is. They're playing on a little league flag football team that, nobody's a loser. There you go. You all did good. You all did. We got beat by 8,000 points, but you're all winners. No, you're not. So now here she is trying to go on there and let the nerd, who is another actor, jab her up and make their audience think that, yeah, you held her to, the fire. Yeah, that's right. You was having some tough questions. We're not fake. We're serious. So listen to that. That's what he's saying. He wants us to believe you did good.
Important stuff. It was.
Look, she's trying to take a lap too. Stop, man. You crazy. I mean, you know what? I mean, I did okay. But please, you're embarrassing me. Stop it. You're embarrassing me. No, you embarrass yourself with McDonald's questions and stuff.
Oh, I just thought the whole thing was refreshingly substantive.
Substantive. That's the word of the day.
That it's complicated, right? We're a country of 330 million people. Our economy is complicated, right? In the same way, is the economy good or bad? It totally depends. So tariffs, if used in the right places, can work. And one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer.
Oh, she did?
That's okay, because we are not talking about clear or direct issues.
What?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
And
you tell him, Apollo, certain stuff you can't let slide. Whoa. No, whoa, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Yeah, we don't need substance. Shut up, sheep. Okay? All right, don't worry about the sounds that's coming out of that barn. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about seeing all of that wool flying around and stuff like that and noticing that your other sheep buddies are not coming out the other side. Don't worry about that. Just keep coming in. Just keep coming in. That's what that woman just said. Unreal.
one could watch that and say, well, she didn't give a clear, direct answer. That's okay.
This is exciting.
That's okay.
He has learned a new word. Here she repeats that word 3 times in 13 seconds. See if you can guess what it is.
Looking holistically at the connection between that and housing. And looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner for those who...
You see that? There it is. It's the hand movements with it too. Holistically. Okay. Wax on, wax off. There it is. Sleight of hand. So, as she tried to hypnotize us with that magical word, holistically, let's see. This might be my favorite nonsensical, drawn out word salad response of that interview right here.
To say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to that?
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. You know, I have to tell you, I really love and am so
Look at her. You see them eyes closed right now, trying to find her. Now, what this looks like, it looks like a kid that's put on a spot, didn't read the book. The teacher calls them up to the front of the class, asks them a question, and that kid goes on like, it was about a dog, and the dog was, or a little kid whose brain isn't fully developed, and they're trying to explain something, that is complex. What is that thing right there? That right there is a car. How does cars work? The car they work. When you go when you come outside and when you wanna go somewhere, you get in it and then it just it goes vrn vrn and then then it starts moving. That's what she sounds like. She sounds like a toddler that's trying to explain a concept that's above their intellect. She's sitting there saying this, man, and she's wanting to be elected. That's why I say, man, if they elect this chick legitimately, we're done as a species. Not even as America. We're done as a species.
energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams.
That is one big pile of
shite. Thank you. One big pile of shite. And this woman knows it because she came under severe criticism by other networks. And here she is trying to explain it and justify it. And after that, we're going to have to bring in a professional. The only one I can even think of that could even help Kamala Harris, because she's an unpolishable turd. But there's one that can maybe help her out. But let's hear this lady's excuse.
But here's what's a little tricky. She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from?
Exactly.
To expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And she says, we just have to do it.
There it is, magically. We just got to. We've got to do it. It doesn't matter how, Spock. We've got to. So she just says she's going to do it, man.
And that's great, and that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing the deficit. And back in the days when you were a proud Republican, debts and deficits mattered.
Now somebody must have drug her in the back room somewhere. Come here for a second. You think we sent you out there to do that interview to get out there and tell the truth about her? Did you think that? Now you go back out there and you go ahead and switch that up, okay? You run cover for her. Messed around and exposed what everybody saw with their own eyes, but now she's changing her tune.
Days later.
Yeah, it was great because I was watching Fox News and I'm now excited about Melania's memoir. I'm going to have to pick that up this weekend, and I can get a silver coin that Donald Trump launched on Monday. Obviously, one of the 100 grand watches, and I haven't gotten my sneakers yet, but I'm sure they can tell me where to get them. No, that's nonsense. Obviously, for anybody who watched the interview I did with Vice President Harris, we sat down for 25 minutes and we talked
for nothing. 25 minutes of nothing, man. Of two girls cackling together and sharing stories. So, girl, how you feel about the latest Etienne Agnes that hit the mark? Girl, those shoes is sweet. I'm going to pick me up a pair that, you know what you doing this weekend? That's all it was. Gossip. That's what it sounded like. So, what, do you remember your McDonald's job, girl? Yeah, you did. Wasn't it fun? You remember them days? Yeah, two girls just sitting there chewing the fat.
But one single topic. The economy. It is the number one issue for voters. If Donald Trump would like to sit down and have that same conversation.
And how would that go? So, Mr. Trump, we want to know why you wrecked the economy, and you know what? We want to know why. It would be that. It wouldn't be so, Mr. Trump. Before we even get started, you know what? It wouldn't be none of that. I guarantee you.
I'm ready for you. And I think it's hugely important. And it's a vulnerability for both candidates. But it's really tricky, Joe, because, you obviously want to cover all of these topics. But to just do it with one candidate, it's hard because...
Because you don't have Donald Trump to beat up on, to fact check and distract from the fact that Kamala Harris have no good responses, can't answer questions, and is very unlikable. And Kamala is in the spotlight because Donald Trump's not there for her to go, you know what, you're a four-time convicted felon and you're this and that and this and that, so I don't have to answer questions. I can just continue to point over there and go, this man's bad and evil, and he's a liar. And that's why. See, but Trump do those interviews all the time on a solo mission. But all of a sudden, you're telling me it's hard to do it with just Chameleon because she's dumb. And she can't answer stuff. And I did more work than she did trying to cover up for her.
Many people feel like she's speaking in platitudes. She's speaking about an economic vision and she's not giving details. She's got an 80-page detailed policy proposal.
Yeah, so don't ask her questions. Just go read the notes, the footnotes. Yeah, don't ask her to explain those 80 pages. Now, here's the funny part. Do you think Chameleon sat at the head of the table, the committee for the economic policies, and said, all right, guys, I've been up all night crunching the numbers. Do you think she was involved in that? She don't know what's in that mess. She said, y'all put together something that I can stick out there and say I'm doing stuff and give me the surface talking points and let me go out and try to sell it and make people think I know all the details. Anybody who goes and really reads it and probably asks, all right, on page 52, it says that, she'd be going, oh God, you actually read that? Yeah, but here she is like, look, don't bore me with all the details. Just go to my website and read stuff that somebody else wrote.
And do I think that she answers every single question and gives people exactly what they want? She doesn't. Do you know why?
Why?
Because she's a politician.
Oh.
And none of them do. They all speak in platitudes. But Donald Trump has given absolutely nothing except mass deportations, which would be a huge issue for our economy. And he just says, you know, I delivered you the best economy ever, and I'm going to put across, you know, blanket tariffs. But the thing that I think she needs to...
Well, that's actually provable. It's the truth. He did. Unlike Chameleon and Joe. We did, Joe. We did it. Destroy the economy. That's what y'all did. Trump actually did it. So now, as she tries to justify that very softball interview, we're about to bring on a professional that might just be able to show Chameleon Kamala Harris how to do it.
Answer for more is despite all of the economic wins over the last 4 years.
Now, do you hear this chick trying to, really now she's doing what Kamala should have been trying to do. She's up here like, in spite all of the economic wins. What economic wins are you talking about?
Despite the fact that Donald Trump emotionally connected with that blue collar worker, but he didn't deliver.
So yet the Biden administration have all these economic wins, but Trump only connected with the blue collar worker with his mouthpiece, but he didn't deliver nothing. That's why they're all still excited about voting for him. That's why they all think he'll do a better job with the economy because he didn't deliver for them. Do you hear this garbage coming out of these people's mouths? So now you literally are trying to gaslight people by telling them y'all should be able to recognize all of the economic wins that the Biden-Harris administration delivered. And all of us are going, okay, but like which ones you referring to? Because I don't remember none of those. Then when you think of Trump, you're going, oh, I remember that. And she's trying to tell you, no, what you remember took place under Trump didn't really happen. But the real wins was under the Biden administration, and y'all just are either too stupid, you know, whatever. Y'all couldn't see him. Y'all couldn't see him. Boy, she's horrible.
For that blue collar worker, she needs to solve for why he still polls better.
Because he delivered. This isn't rocket science. She needs to post. She's fake, phony, just like you are.
On economic issues with voters, because that to me is mind-boggling. You know, when you talk to voters across the board, they often say, I don't know what any politicians do for me, but I did get my taxes lowered. And she made it clear, when the individual tax cuts expire next year, the one group of people who will get their taxes raised are people who make over $400,000.
Don't you believe that? If you vote for this chick thinking, just like Biden said, oh, the IRS, 82,000 new employees, they're only going after the billionaires and the trillionaires. If you believe that, yeah, I got a bridge for you. Don't worry, taxes aren't going to be raised unless you're making over $400,000 a year. So,
Here. Now, a lot of people in blue cities and blue states are wondering what happens to that state and local tax deduction. Donald Trump has now said, we're going to lift that cap. He's the one who put it on. We don't yet know what she's going to do.
Don't yet know what she's going to do. Well, guys, neither does she, because she is the best at being the worst presidential candidate ever. So now we got to bring in a professional to show her how to handle these interviews. Show her how to deal with these reporters. The only one that I think can get it done to maybe help Kamala Harris turn it around is the one you all know and love. The nastiest of them all. Woo-wee! Nasty Pelosi. She's about to show Kamala Harris how to do it. So fake crapper makes nasty get nasty. Now, just as a recap, let's just see how nasty can get when she's dealing with the fake, or she, in her mind, the fake news. But really, they are the fake news. They're helping her. But when they step out of line, look how nasty handle it. Nasty girls, nasty.
Donald Trump is a great threat to our democracy. What is a democracy? What are the pillars?
You see that?
What are the pillars? A free and independent press.
You see that? Now, before I sit down and spread all of my propaganda, first I have to take a sip of my medicine. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good, nasty. Now that I have my surprise eyes and my monkey paw, let's talk about Donald Trump being a threat to democracy. So you see nasty? Nasty's dropping it like it's hot, and she ain't even thinking. It ain't nothing in her head thinking that I'm gonna be interrupted. Right now, she's like, man, I'm punching a punching bag. Ain't nobody gonna swing back at nasty, because I'm nasty as they get.
To tell the story of what's going on, to keep everybody informed. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
Whoop, time to go. Oh, shoot.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other...
You see that? That's how Kamala, she need to learn from the nastiest of them all. Man, whoop. Nasty's like, how dare you talk back to me, you imbecile? He had the worst record ever. I don't care whether it's true or not. Nasty willed herself. That's what it is. She's like, I'm gonna wield my lie to become the truth. And that woman just gently, quietly kind of, just made a comment low under her breath. I mean, it was a pandemic. He had the worst. That's how to do it, Chameleon. Yeah, you need to learn from the nastiest of them all, okay? Nasty, don't play that. Don't be asking Nasty no off-the-wall questions. Go on, Nasty, show us some more.
Other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role.
Yeah, you see that? Ended with an insult. She reversed that mess. Nasty flipped it. How dare you interrupt me? And if you want to be an apologist for that insurrectionist, be my guest. And, by the way, you won't have a job after this, you peasant. You'll be cleaning my pool and picking my fruit by tomorrow. Yeah, that's what Nasty does when she goes through a tough interview. Well, that brings us up to Fake Crapper, who actually is asking some questions about Kamala Harris. Now, remember, Nasty done went out there and exchanged creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe for the best at being the worst candidate ever, Kamala Harris. So now she got to go out there and try to defend this. And you know it's bad when Fake Crapper's asking some questions like, I don't know about this chick. So Nasty, take it away. Show Fake Crapper who's in charge.
This ad attempts to be a fairly straightforward presentation in answering the question of how exactly she would address the cost of living crisis, which has not always been the case in some of these more unscripted moments that we've heard from the candidate herself in interviews with CNN's Dana Bash or the Philadelphia's Channel 6 or Oprah. Harris has been asked to outline some specific things she would do to help working people pay for things if elected. And each time she began, well, take a listen.
When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people.
Back to the Hallmark. Hallmark cards. Fake Crapper, as fake as he is, He's peeping it out. So apparently CNN is trying to not totally repeat the deception that they had with Joe Biden, pretending they weren't able to see all of this stuff. So now you got to kind of softball or kind of mention it like, we noticed that she don't. And I know fake crapper probably scared in his monologue. Well, let's just let you see it. I'll just let you decide. We noticed sometimes, just sometimes, she maybe don't all the way answer the question. But it's okay. It's okay if she doesn't. It's okay. Yeah. So he went ahead and he's trying to pretend like we do recognize some potential issues with her. But we ain't going in hard on her like we did with Trump when I called him, you know what, this guy right here is pretty much Hitler. So now here she is going to that Hallmark card again. I was raised in a middle-class family and that the American people are...
I think that people are ready for a new way forward.
Oh, God.
I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. Yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And
Europe is a
in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations.
Oh, that's my favorite. Rightly having the right to have rights. And that's right when you have rights. Am I right? No? Okay. All right. So y'all hear all of that salad being tossed? And so let's go ahead and see how Nasty tries to cover this up.
Dreams and ambitions for your family.
There you go.
In some cases, it has taken nearly 2 minutes before Vice President Harris actually arrives at describing her policies. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is here with us to discuss.
Look at her up there looking nasty as she want to be. And all of that red, looking like a big, fat, rotten apple. And all of that red. Mm-hmm. Yes, now, listen here, fake crapper. Don't you get out of hand, because I'll have to stick this monkey paw right down your throat. You understand that? Now, let's begin this thing. But first, I need my medicine. So let's see what she got to say.
Do you think she needs to be presenting more meat on the bones of... I get that she's from a middle-class family. It's great. And I get that she feels people's pains. Great. But what about, like, here are the 5 things I'm going to do directly for you? Does she need to be doing more of that?
Slow your roll, crapper. Slow your roll. Don't mess around and start seeing that eye start twitching. What did you... So, you see fake crapper? Scared her, do you? Like she's a caged animal that you trying to unleash or something? Did you think maybe sometimes that... Yeah, so let's see if he could see the moment Nasty gets nasty.
Well, she'll be doing some of that tomorrow once we put forth her economic plan. But people like to have a connection to whoever is running for office.
Y'all hear a little bit of that mush mouth right there? A connection. She gave us a little sample of mush. A connection. So let's continue listening to her talk about a connection. Let's continue. Oh, I cracked myself up, man. Laughing and imitating Nasty Pelosi. So I think she's going to be one of them people that as much as I despise her. Between her and Creepy, I tell you, I get so much comedy out of them. It's a love-hate relationship. If Nasty goes down, I'm going to be like, what, the Nasty one's gone? Man, who am I? You can't replace Nasty. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know how nasty you got to be as nasty as nasty. Okay, so let's continue watching her handle fake crapper.
They share their experience, that they understand their lives, and I think that's what she is establishing. Yeah. But I never give advice to presidential candidates.
No, I just tell them what to do. It's not advice. But I never give advice to candidates. I tell them what to do. Nasty doesn't give advice, I give orders. Do you understand me, you peasant? You're recording this? Oh, yes. Well, now, back to advice. I don't give advice to... I can't say that I will have them killed? No? Okay. Well, yes, it's totally up to them. So let's see. With that nasty, crooked smile. You see her trying to go ahead and fake us out with that mush mouth grinning right there? So let's see. Because right now, she's still calm. The nastiness ain't really rose to the top. So let's see. Here we go.
the wisdom that they have, the political astuteness that they had to become the presidential candidate says they know something about the market out there.
Do you think?
Now, are you kidding me? You hear nasty, rip off that nastiness right there, that lie right there, the wisdom that they have. Now, if you think Joe Biden won because of wisdom and knowledge and savvy, I mean, that says a lot about your intelligence. And especially if you think that Kamala Harris got to any one of her positions through wisdom, savvy, intellect, you got to be kidding me. We just watched all of those clips of her saying nothing. Whole bunch of words, but nothing. We just watched it. Even her delivery. I think even if she did have the right words, she wouldn't even be able to deliver it to the point where somebody would not be able to overlook how fake and phony she is. She's just a bad candidate, a horrible candidate. She's the best at being the worst candidate ever. But Nasty said her wisdom and her knowledge and all of those things got them there. Now, Fake Crapper is about to go ahead and wrestle with a bear. He's about to jump in the cage with the lion.
That she needs to be mixing it up more, having a press conference, more town halls, just out and about more. Oprah's the queen, obviously, but that's not a tough interview.
Don't
sitting
make
down with
nasty.
Oprah's endorsed her. She spoke at the
Get nasty.
convention. Does she need to be doing more of that sort of thing?
Of course she does. Now, instead of, Fake Crapper, if this was Trump or somebody thought, you know what you need to be doing, it wouldn't be like that. But these are just questions. Like, I'm just thinking out loud. I was just wondering, maybe, do you think maybe perhaps like a hand-picked husband, you think maybe today, maybe I could drive, hun? If it's okay with you, if it's okay with that. I was thinking maybe sometime I could drive too. No, I'll let you know when you can drive. Okay, I was just wondering. That's how Jake is dealing with her. Like he is asking his wife can I pick one of the movies one time? We'll see. I'll think about it. Okay, just let me know.
She will make that decision in her campaign agenda and her plan. Officially, I know her. Policy-wise, she has strength. She knows the issues. She knows the strategy. She's eloquent in her presentation.
What? Now, see, that's how you do it, Chameleon. Nasty is dropping out lies with confidence, with authority. You think Nasty out there playing around? Yeah, man, you ain't sensing no fear in Nasty. Nasty is controlling this whole situation. She's like, I'm going to lie right to the American people, and you too, Fake Crapper, with confidence. I'm going to make you believe my lie. Do you understand? Yeah, she got that. I'm gonna make you believe my lie right there. I had respect for her game when I saw her get caught on tape getting her hair did during COVID, and when they asked her about it, she says, apologize. Why would I do that? If anything, they owe me an apology for being set up. I said, wow, she's the truth. Nasty is as nasty as they get. That chick straight came out there and said, I was busted making y'all wear masks and I didn't have one on. And you know why I didn't have one on? Because I was set up and y'all need to apologize to me. With confidence. So Jake's about to push it just a little too far.
She has your vote, but that it's neck and neck. It is. I've never seen an election this tight at this point. Usually somebody has an edge at this point that could change, but it's neck and neck. In the battlegrounds, it's neck and neck. So I do wonder.
Now she's fixing that mush mouth. She's like, now Jake, you're going a little too far. So let's see. Jake, you better slow your roll, man.
It seems like she's running kind of cautiously, and I wonder, does she need to take more risks?
I was just wondering. There he is, the passive husband. I was just wondering, maybe sometimes, that maybe I can have one of the pillows. Oh, God. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow I'll give you a pillow. Okay, that's okay. I can sleep just on the bed like this. What about a little of the cover? No. Okay. I'll just lay here exposed to the elements. Are you comfortable, hon? Stop asking me questions. I'm trying to go to sleep. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what Jake's doing right now. So let's continue.
Since you said, she has my vote. I wasn't speaking about myself. That's one vote. I'm talking about, I was in 3 states last week. not counting California and Washington, where I began then. And the enthusiasm out there is great for her.
I'm sure that you hear from progressive voters, Democratic voters who say, as I hear from them on social media, the media made such a big deal out of Joe Biden's alleged cognitive problems. Why don't they talk about that?
Oh, no. I see he's cruising for a bruising, y'all. This man got too confident out there with the lions and the tigers and the whip in the chair. Don't worry, they won't bite. They're loving animals. And I'm going, Jake, man, you don't see them teeth? You don't see them claws starting to come out? You see Nasty's face tensing up right there? Yeah, she's like, okay, now, don't make me.
Donald Trump's cognitive problems. Well, Donald Trump talked about that just a second ago, and I want to get your reaction.
I'm worried for you, fake.
They laugh at us all over the world. They're laughing at us. And you know,
oh, my God. Is he actually showing Donald Trump with Nasty on the set? Everybody run for cover.
You know what they're really laughing at? Kamala, because they can't believe that she's going to be president. They can't believe. You talk about cognitive problems? She's got bigger cognitive problems than he has, in my opinion.
I'm going super nasty. That's what I'm doing. Let me drink my potion first. Now I'm going mega nasty. So now he done messed around and put Donald Trump on it.
Donald Trump saying that Kamala Harris has bigger cognitive problems than Joe Biden.
Why would you even cover that? This is a person who's not on the level. He is their nominee for president. He is incompetent. Let's not even talk about the silliness of it all and the weirdness of it all. And
you see her take control of this interview? Kamala, you need to be watching the nastiest of them all. Look how she's handling fake crapper. Why would you even play that? I should slap your face with this monkey paw. I should put this whole mush mouth on you. I should take my dentures out and shove them right up your nose. Yeah, she is furious with him. She didn't even address what he was talking about. She just straight came out like, why would you even play that mess? Fake. Now I'm going to go ahead and rip off some lies with an attitude about Donald Trump. And you better not correct me.
The assault on women that it is, we're not going to talk issues. Incompetent. The only thing he did as president, when he had the majority, was to pass a bill that gave 83, tax cut that gave 83 of the benefits to the top 1%, adding $2 trillion to the national debt.
You see that monkey paw? There it is. At the 1% and $2 billion. So let's see if Jake responds and put that nastiness back in the bottle.
The worst job creation record of anybody president since Herbert Hoover.
Because of COVID, yes.
Well, it's not because of COVID.
You see Jake trying to fight back? You see him trying to get control again with the whip in the chair? But she done closed the gap. She's all in his chest with that mush mouth all over him. What? You interrupted me and offended me twice. Now I definitely am going to have you killed. And I'll say it on TV too. Because you made nasty get real nasty. I didn't want to get this nasty. You brought out the super nasty in me. So now Jake asked another question or made a comment.
$3 trillion into the economy when he was president, working with and the Congress working together. We put $3 trillion into the economy. So don't blame it on and what did he do with COVID?
And look at Jake. Fake crapper got his head down, y'all. He ain't interrupted. Excuse me, I have to interrupt you, former speaker. I know, you know what? Actually, that's not true. Fake done gave up. He done gave up. He's like, all right, yeah, I done angered, nasty Pelosi, and she's giving me a lecture. And I'm just going to sit here and wait until we run out the clock on this interview because I have nothing left right now. She's let me know, don't even ask another question. I'm going to sit here, drop these lies out there with some bass in my voice. She got more bass than he got right now. She's just out there like, and you know what, and I'll tell you this, and he did this and that. And Jake done gave up. He's done checked out. Right now, he's thinking about lunch.
Denial and delay, responsible for thousands and thousands of people dying. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to forgive his job record because of COVID, make sure you attribute many of those deaths to him as well.
Now, see, do you think Kamala can handle like she ain't nasty enough to be able to handle the situation, man? She need to learn from the best. Okay, so now watch Jake, who just got his testes ripped off by that monkey paw. Okay,
Not forgiving anything, just noting the content.
Incompetent. Forget silly and crazy and crooked and all the rest. Incompetent.
Let me just say, why do I run that clip? I run that clip because that's the Republican presidential nominee. And I thought you might have a reaction to it.
I was just, let me explain, because I ain't mean to offend you, Mrs. Nasty. So I was just thinking maybe one time I can just ask maybe a question and make a couple comments, but it's okay. That dude just got destroyed by Nasty with all of her lies, all of her propaganda. But yeah, she's as nasty as they come. And Kamala is corrupt, evil, but she ain't got that. She ain't got it, And, even if she did have it, she would be dangerous. But my point is, she needs to learn from the best. And she'll never do that. It just ain't in her. She ain't got the it factor. She's not really a savvy politician. She don't have that type of just straight up command of the situation. She's not both. Trump does it. He will take back control of any type of conversation. He don't let him get out of control. Nasty Pelosi, she does it. She uses her powers for evil, but nonetheless, she still got that skill set. Kamala just don't have it. Now, as nasty is, man, she's fun to watch. She's hilarious, man. Boy, I tell you, I would never get tired of seeing her work that mush mouth and those monkey paws and then getting mad at people and telling them, you know what, I'll put you in your place. Yeah, she is nasty as they come. But I don't think there is any hope for Kamala Harris, and I don't even think Nasty can help her. I think she's beyond repair, and I'm pretty sure the Democrat Party right now would love to send that toy back to the toy shop. That one's broken. It's not working. I stuck the batteries in, but there's nothing coming out. And so we shall see as the weeks go on. And, these little softball interviews that she's doing, I know she's doing them just to say, I've done some interviews. Look at me. I've came out, I've talked, but nobody respects that. Because one, we know it's a controlled environment. It's a friendly environment. And even with that, you still stink, which proves my argument. You are the best at being the worst candidate ever. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Hopefully, y'all have a wonderful weekend. And guess what? I did upload a video, a standalone video this morning sometime, or this afternoon maybe, talking about the race baiter, Michael Eric Dyson, with Nancy Mace. I didn't want to even get involved in that little thing. But then he went on The View and he made one of the dumbest comments ever. And I said, man, I got to make a video on it. And guess what else, though? I got another video that I did. But, of course, YouTube might suppress it because they say you could only upload 3 videos in a 24-hour time frame that they would actually send notifications out on. But I'm going to try it because I did a video on Janet Jackson, who actually questioned Kamala Harris's, race. And she's taking a lot of heat for it. But she's the real nasty one. Nasty if you're Jackson. Okay. But so I'm going to upload it anyway right now and see what happens. So while I have you guys, I just want y'all to know it'll probably take about 20 minutes to upload. So check your notifications, or just check back with the channel. I think you'll find this one pretty informative and humorous as well. All right. Now, with that being said, don't forget, text MAGA to this number. All right. And also, what else? If you want to support the channel, go to Kevin's Corner store. You can purchase some merch, or you can also just simply donate to the channel through my Cash App and my PayPal. And I haven't checked, but some of y'all said y'all went ahead and subscribed to my Stop and Think About It alternative channel, because I want to start doing some live streams over there. I'm going to upload some of the same videos, though, over to there to try to generate some new viewers and subscribers. So if you're subscribed to that alternative channel, you'll start seeing some notifications pop up there. But, you'll probably be able to see either one of the videos on, whatever channel. And I might even surprise y'all with something that I haven't uploaded here and just put it over there just to tease those that ain't made the switch yet. So, all right, I think that's it. God bless y'all. God bless America. We'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Uh-oh. Come here. Come here, Gizmo. Yeah. Come here. You stink. Yes, you do, Gizmo. Easy, easy, easy. There you go. Relax. Relax. You look tense. There you go. Gizmo needs a haircut. Don't you, Gizmo? You need a haircut? Yeah. Why you so tense, man, huh? Why you flinching? I ain't do nothing to you. Yeah. So, and he needs a bath. All right, take care. We'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Let's get out of here. I think I might go and do some salsa dancing tonight, okay? Hey, how y'all doing? Tear up the place, yeah. Take care. Gizmo, stop all that knocking.